First, I just want to congratulate St. Mary's on an incredible season. We have a history with them, and I think there was a number of stories written about it, in that we had scrimmaged them, for 3 of the last 4 years. So these guys, they really knew how good St. Mary's was. I almost feel like in a small way that helped us tonight, because not until you're actually playing against them do you realize how physical they are, how good they are, both on offense and defense. And, Randy Bennett, he does as good of a job with his team and program as any coach. I look at this as one of the great wins we've had in the tournament because of the team that we beat, and we respect them a great deal. In terms of us tonight, we hung in there. It was really like a microcosm of our entire season. Raleigh Alkins dislocated his finger on his shooting hand. Kadeem dislocated his finger, and, it popped out a couple weeks back. But, when you do that as a freshman and you're in the NCAA tournament, you leave the game, number one, it's not easy to come back into the game, but to come back in the game and play well says a lot about Raleigh, and, really ditto for these two guys that are up here. Lowry's post defense was terrific down the home stretch. And, the identity and the characteristics of our team are this guy right here to my right. He's as hard a playing guy as I've seen, and he won't let his team lose to some degree. And I thought his mentality defensively finally caught on, and we got some stops. So thrilled to be playing, and we beat a really good team tonight. Nobody knows that more than the 3 of us. Yeah, I think Alonzo, he wants to play well so bad that today, and this really isn't his makeup, but today, he didn't have the confidence that he usually has, and a couple things went bad. For example, I think on the first play of the game for him, he was running down the sideline, and he caught the ball out of bounds. It's that old line, Zoe, the line doesn't move. It's there. Come on now. And but I think that it kind of set the tone where, it wasn't anything other than, I think he's been thinking about this moment for a long time, wants it very badly, and once in a while it can work against you, and it did for a period of time. But again, like a lot of things on our team, he put that behind him at halftime, and your point's well taken. He had 0 points in the first half. He had 14 points in the second half, and he really got going. I almost feel like the difference in the game was his offensive outburst there, maybe midway through the second half. But he regained his confidence, and when he's confident offensively, certainly our team is a lot better. But I give him a lot of credit. Like Raleigh and really our team, things weren't bright in the first half for many of the moments of the game. But I think it's our depth of experience of all that we've been through this year, the fight that we've had from start to finish, has really prepared us well for a game like today in this tournament, because nothing's easy in this tournament. The unexpected happens, and you have to be able to fight through it to get there. And tonight was as big of a fight as we've had all season long. Again, we beat an excellent team. Yeah, I think midway through the first half, especially when Raleigh got injured, we lost our confidence for a little bit. We really did. You had Alonzo, who wasn't himself, Raleigh out of the game. Landell, he's one heck of a low post player, and he got off to a great start. If I'm not mistaken, he had 8 field goals. I'm going to say that he had maybe 5 of his 8 field goals in the first 8 minutes of the game. So if you look at the rest of the game, we did a much better job against him. And Lowry, he said he tried not to let him get the ball. Lowry's quickness, in addition to his size, I think at least forced him away from the basket more, and at least gave us a better opportunity to defend him, because he's a terrific low post player. But on offense, we really tried to run our drive plays, our post-up plays, and our players did a really good job. Whether it be Raleigh, Kadeem, Alonzo, and then inside Doosan, Chance, Lowry. I think those guys really got fouled and delivered on those drives and post-ups. It had a great effect because of how well he's playing, and he played well again tonight. If he didn't return to the game, I don't know if we would have had enough to win, but we believe in Raleigh. Justin Kokoski, our trainer, and Raleigh both felt he could come in the game and play, and he did. But got to be one tough kid to pop your finger back midway through the first half, come out, on your shooting hand and play the rest of the game. You know, as great as he played 2 nights ago, that says a lot more about Raleigh and what he was able to do tonight. And anybody that's played the game and has suffered a hand injury like that knows how difficult it is to do what he did. Well, North Dakota really prepared us for tonight. You know, they made 10 threes. They were a very difficult team to defend. They have a number of players like St. Mary's that can shoot the three. And I think our players learned, you know, a team like that who moves the ball and has such great movement, you know, your margin for error is razor thin. But we really took the last couple of days and talked about that, worked on it, you know, really tried to show a lot of film, make that an emphasis. And, you know, minus a couple, and I'm sure St. Mary's maybe missed a couple that they had, but we defended the three-point shot really well tonight, for sure. Big reason we won.